Unlike a video game, when a real-life lift truck accident occurs, you can't start over and make the injury go away. When you get behind the wheel of a lift truck, you are making a commitment to operate it safely. This means knowing how to prepare your lift truck and yourself for each day's activities, how to operate the controls, how to handle loads safely, and how to ensure the safety of your coworkers. It's your responsibility to know how to be safe when you drive. In this program, we will discuss safe lift truck driving skills, including how to work safely around people, handling loads, and common driving hazards found in the work environment. Before you are allowed to operate a lift truck, you must be trained and authorized by a qualified person at your site. You will be evaluated on your knowledge of safety procedures and the policies you must follow, as well as your ability to safely handle the lift trucks used at this site. Driving safely depends on your ability to recognize and avoid the potential hazards that are present whenever a lift truck is operated. To help you remember the most common potential hazards, think of the 3 P's: people, property, and pathway. In the work environment, people and lift trucks must work together safely. The place to begin your safe driving effort is with your own actions. If a seat belt is provided, use it every time you operate the lift truck. Just as with a car or truck, if you have an accident, you're much less likely to suffer serious injury when wearing a seat belt. Some trucks, like stand-ups or walkies, are not designed to use seat belts. When operating the lift truck, keep every part of your body inside the overhead guard to avoid a crushing injury. Only the operator is allowed to ride on a lift truck. No passengers are allowed on any part of the truck. When getting on or off the truck, maintain 3-point contact. This means keeping 2 hands and 1 foot, or 1 hand and 2 feet in contact with the equipment at all times. Keep hands and arms away from the hydraulic lift when operating. Do not reach through the lift at any time. Visibility, seeing and being seen, is a critical aspect of working safely with people. Turn on your headlights if lighting levels are low. If moving from bright sunshine into an area with a low light level, stop and give your eyes a moment to adjust. Always look in the direction you are traveling and have a clear view of the path of travel. If you cannot see over or around your load, drive in reverse with the load trailing. Traveling with a raised load is an unsafe work practice and seriously affects the stability of the lift truck. Never raise the load to increase your field of vision. Be aware of blind spots created by the hydraulic lift. Even the smallest part of the lift can hide large areas of the workplace or coworkers. Keep pedestrians away from raised forks. No one is allowed to pass under the elevated portion of a lift truck, whether loaded or empty. Be aware of the position of your lift truck. Do not place a person between the lift truck and a fixed object like a post, rack, workbench, or wall. Observe marked aisleways and other pedestrian areas. Be aware of all barriers, warning signs, and other safeguards. Use your horn to warn pedestrians of your approach. Decrease your speed when working near others. When a person crosses your route of travel, stop and let them pass. Since your lift truck may be loud or producing exhaust fumes, stop and turn off the motor when a pedestrian needs to speak with you. When driving, pedestrians always have the right of way. Be prepared to stop at all times. Never assume a pedestrian is aware of your presence. They may not see or hear you, or may be unaware of how to work around a lift truck. Practice your hazard recognition skills whenever you drive. Someone or something may have moved since you last passed through an area. Be sure to notice what is different or what may have changed. Avoiding property damage to your load, your vehicle, and the worksite is another vital safe driving skill. The first step in controlling load damage is mastering the pick and set, or picking up and setting down the load. Knowing the weight capacity of your vehicle is the key to picking and setting safely. Double-check the data plate found on the lift truck's body. Make sure the load does not exceed these limits. The stability of the load is your responsibility. Make sure it is stacked correctly. If the load is unstable, restack it. Do not climb on the load to organize it. Use a ladder or other means to access the load. If handling roll material on the lift truck's forks, travel in reverse with the load trailing, or use chocks on the load to prevent roll movement. If available, you can also use a clamp attachment or other secure handling device to transport rolls. If using a pallet, check to see that it is in good condition. Remove damaged pallets from service. Be sure follow-up is initiated to keep damaged pallets from reappearing at your site. When picking up a load, make sure the forks are set to the proper width. Tilt the forks to level them and move forward slowly to position the load on the forks. If picking up a load that is close to another item, be sure your forks do not extend beyond the load and unintentionally snag the other item. Once the load is clear, place it on the forks as close to the front wheels as possible. This increases the stability of the truck. Never add additional weight to the truck's counterweight to offset an overload. Check the overhead clearance. Maintain a safe working distance from overhead items like lights, pipes, sprinkler systems, and heating units. Lift the load straight up. Tilt it back slightly. Make sure the load does not catch on adjacent items or obstructions. When you are sure the forks are free, back up. Whenever a load is raised, you must stay on the lift truck. Stop and lower the forks to rearrange the load if necessary. Keep the forks as low as possible when traveling. 6 to 10 inches or 15 to 25 centimeters is ideal. You may need to adjust the height of the forks for driving conditions, such as when going up or down an incline or ramp. When setting down the load, stop, tilt forward slightly to level the forks, and slowly lower the load. When setting a load over a rack or stack, keep the load tilted back enough to stabilize the load as it is raised. Level the forks only when the load is in position over the rack or stack. Use extreme caution when tilting forward or back when the forks are raised. Recognizing pathway hazards in your workplace is another key to mastering safe driving skills. All traffic regulations must be observed, including speed limits. A good rule of thumb for a safe speed is a normal walking pace. You must be able to stop your lift truck in a safe manner at all times. Maintain a safe distance from other vehicles, about 3 truck lengths from the vehicle ahead. Do not pass other trucks at intersections, blind spots, or other hazardous locations. Slow down and sound your horn at all cross aisles when coming around corners or where your vision is obstructed. When turning, lift your foot from the accelerator and make a smooth sweeping motion with the steering wheel. Move the steering wheel carefully except when moving at very low speed. Be aware that the rear end of the lift truck swings wide during turns. Plan for this movement, especially when working in tight spaces. Travel on inclines or ramps slowly. With a load, keep the forks pointed uphill. If unloaded, keep the forks pointed down. Do not turn until the lift truck is on level ground. Slow down on wet or slippery surfaces. Clear obstructions such as paper or debris from your path. When working on a loading dock or platform, keep a safe distance from the edge of the dock or ramp. These edges should be clearly marked. A significant number of lift truck accidents occur while loading or unloading trucks, semi-trailers, or railroad cars. To ensure your safety, do a walk-around inspection before working with any of these vehicles. Inspect the vehicle to be sure the flooring has no breaks or weaknesses. If you have any concerns with the floor, do not enter the trailer and notify your supervisor. Clear any trash, loose objects, or obstructions that may be in the trailer. Be sure there is at least 2 inches or 5 centimeters clearance between the vehicle's entrance and the top of the lift truck. If available, a vehicle restraint system like a dock lock must be used. If a dock lock is not available, the truck's brakes must be set and wheel chocks placed under the rear wheels to prevent it from moving. Before you enter the trailer, you must be sure the trailer cannot move away from the dock. Inspect underneath the trailer for damage and be sure the trailer's support legs are set properly and are not damaged. On a rail car, hand brakes must be set and wheel stops or other positive protection must be in place to prevent movement. Do not open the railroad car door with the forks. Use caution when driving outdoors. Be aware of the condition of the surface and the capability of your truck's wheels. If driving over railroad tracks, cross them diagonally. Park your lift truck at least 8 feet or 3 meters from the center of the tracks. When working in an enclosed space like a semi-trailer or rail car, be aware of a possible accumulation of hazardous gases such as carbon monoxide. Adequate ventilation should always be used when working in these areas. Make sure the dock plate is properly secured and can structurally support the weight of your lift truck and its load. Drive slowly and carefully. Do not spin the wheels. If you are going to be more than 25 feet or 10 meters away from the truck, or if the truck will not be within your view, lower the forks, place the controls in neutral, shut off the power, and set the brakes. Be sure to take the ignition key. Park your lift truck only in designated areas. Do not block access to emergency equipment, aisleways, fire exits, or stairways. The type of lift truck you will use is either electric or fuel-powered. Before entering the work area, be aware of any potentially hazardous environments like flammable solvents. It is your responsibility to operate your truck only in areas where it has been approved for use. Your ability to recognize potential hazards and your skill at mastering safe driving techniques is critical to the safe operation of lift trucks. Knowing how to prepare yourself and your vehicle for each day's activities is the key to avoiding incidents and keeping a safe and healthy work environment for all of our employees. In this program, you have learned how you, your lift truck, and your coworkers can work together safely. You have also learned how to handle loads, including proper picking and setting techniques and safe driving techniques to use when traveling through the worksite. Remember the 3 P's: people, property, and pathway, to remind you of the 3 most common potential hazards. Your commitment to developing your skills and safely operating a lift truck is the key to keeping you and your coworkers safe when you drive.